it's Madsen Baum. I am glad to be back. I was out of the country last week, so we did some highlights for the Barriers and Breakthroughs show. And I'm so excited today because we have a super special treat for our guest, and we're excited to share some things that we learned this past week. As you know, I'm a mother, and I had a wonderful son who went to Argentina and was a missionary, and so he's going to share some things with us today about what is it like to be a missionary and some of the barriers and breakthroughs that he had being a missionary in Argentina, and us not seeing him for 2 years, going off out into the world right after graduating from high school. So we would like to welcome Madsen Baum today, and we're excited. I'm just going to ask him some questions because a lot of people don't know exactly what it means to be a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so I'm going to let Madsen share a little bit about that, and hopefully you can learn something. And if you have any questions, we'd love for you to give us some input as well. So tell us, first of all, like, what does it mean to become a missionary for your church, and what are some of those details?
So to be a missionary, lots of people think that you need lots of preparation beforehand, but really, there's not much you have to do. You have to have a desire to be a missionary and prepare yourself a little bit to be worthy to leave on a mission. And so basically, you fill out an application, your information, and basic things, and you have to do a few medical things just to make sure you're okay by health, and then you send in an application to the church, and that application goes to the prophet and the 12 apostles, and they, under the direction and revelation from God, basically assign you to a mission, specific mission in the entire world. There's missionaries everywhere in the world, and so you can go to basically any part.
You didn't get to choose where you would go.
I didn't get to choose at all when I said I want to be a missionary, and that was it. You don't get preferences, you don't get choices, just say you want to be a missionary, and then they tell you where you're going.
So they send you a letter and give you an assignment, right?
Yes.
I think we have a video of that. Let's go ahead and play that of you opening your mission call.
My guess, I promise I didn't see it, is chili, okay?
Wow.
Okay. Dear Elder Baum, you are hereby called to serve as the missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ.
Wait, stop! Facebook went off, so we gotta
We'll send him the video.
Madsen's mission call, take two.
Right, dear Elder Baum, you are hereby called to serve as a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You are assigned to labor in the Argentina Salta mission. It is anticipated that you.
Okay, well, that was exciting for us and for you. Tell us a little bit about what you felt when you got your call.
I guess when I got my call, I was obviously excited to open the envelope and see where it was going. Obviously, I had to wait a little bit to get that. But yeah, so in that moment, I guess, I don't know, I was excited. I thought I would maybe go to South America, but I had really no idea where exactly I was going to go. So.
Wow, Salta, Argentina. So, well, tell us a little bit about when you got to Argentina. So, what do you do as a missionary? What was your expectation? Maybe what was something that you didn't expect that you like? Was the country poor? What was it like when you got there?
So when I first off as missionaries, we dedicate 2 years of our lives to help others, to serve, to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, his teachings, and to really just uplift anyone. So
have rules that you have to like go by? Or
Exactly. So for
what
the
do you
2
do?
years, or well, for guys it's 2 years, and for girls it's a year and a half, or 18 months. And so for those 2 years, we kind of dedicate our lives to doing that, helping others, spreading the gospel, and we don't do like all the same things that we would do like normally. So we don't study, we don't work, we don't save, we don't have. We just kind of just we don't go to movies, we don't listen to all the music in the world. We just kind of dedicate ourselves and our lives to helping others, the cause. And so yeah, it's really a special time, and it's limited as well.
What does a day look like for you as a missionary?
So a day as a missionary, we have a schedule, so we have to kind of keep by the schedule. We wake up every day at 7. Some missions it's different, but we wake up at 7. We do exercises, and then we have to get ready for the day. We study for an hour or two, and then we leave. In our mission, we left at 10 a.m. every day, and then went and taught in the streets and to everyone until about 12 or 1, where we ate lunch. We usually ate lunch with members of the church in our areas. It was like a different member every day. And then after that, we usually went back to our apartment, studied for about an hour or two, and then left again at least at 4:30, if not earlier, until 9:30 or 10 at night. And basically, we have to be at our apartment every night at 9:30. If we're teaching someone, we can get back at 10. But basically, from 10 to 11, get ready to go to bed, and at 11, we have to have the lights out, sleeping.
Curfew, and then you're always with a companion or
Always have to be with your companion, always. So,
what if you don't like your companion?
you have to learn how to love them and be with them all the time, even if you don't want to.
Yeah, set goals together. You study the language.
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah, we studied like personally as a companionship, and also like language study.
Yeah. And so, did you have any? What were some of the barriers you might have had as the companion? Like maybe they didn't want to get up out of bed, or were they afraid to talk to strangers, or didn't know the language? So, what were some barriers that you might have had?
I personally got along really well with all my companions.
How many did you have?
I had 10 companions. So
10.
Luckily, I did get along with them really well, so that was good.
That's good marriage prep, right?
Yeah.
Being with somebody 24/7.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like them, or you don't see the same way, or you don't do the same things, you just have to learn how to get along. And sometimes it really is hard to like admit that when you make mistakes, or when you don't do the right things or something like that. But usually, if you just love your companion, then they learn how to love you back, and at least they respect you, and they'll try to help you to help get along together.
Like when you're riding bikes and like you leave them in the dust and they're like trying to catch up with you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really great to learn. I think people don't really understand that you have to be with somebody, you have to get along with somebody, and you have rules. And so, who's in charge of, and how many missionaries are in your mission?
So in our mission, we had about 160 missionaries, or about 80 companionships, companionships. And the person that is in charge of us, or like
President.
Yeah, president. We have a president of the mission, and his wife, and obviously his kids too are part of that. And the president and his wife are the ones that like direct us, they lead us, they teach us, they help us, and they also are missionaries. So they dedicate 3 years of their lives to be the mission president and his wife, and they also kind of live by different rules, but basically their entire lives are dedicated to helping the missionaries.
That's great. And you really liked your mission president.
Oh yeah, they're going really well.
Really great.
Really awesome.
Great. So we have a few other pictures. We were able to see some of these homes that you went into. Were you in dangerous areas?
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't really tell us a lot of he did tell us one time when he got mugged, right?
Yep.
But generally, so some of these areas were dangerous because why?
Mostly because there's a high population density in places, and also there's a lot of drugs, alcohol, vandalism, delinquency, just lots of, like, usually the younger generation are, um, they're kind of lost a little bit, and so lots of them do that kind of things. They go out to work, which really means they go out to steal, and it happens a lot. Always on TV you can see about everyone that gets mugged, like killed, lots of things like that. So
Wow.
it's not very.
I know we prayed a
Awesome.
lot that you would be kept safe. So, which is good that you're with somebody all the time.
Yep.
So I think we have a video of the next. When we were there, I was surprised how poor it is. I think we'll show this video and you can kind of see what I mean. The transportation they have. So. Look at them. Dogs. Wow. I feel like you're going back in time, you guys.
That was my bad. Yeah, my phone touch, but stuff is distracting.
Tampons falling out.
It's not still videoing, is it?
Mascara out of my bag.
Okay, don't flash out your next phone. Stuck in a poor area.
Wow, this is definitely a poor area. Wow, this is like when Aunt Rosie was riding bikes around Honduras. Dirt roads and sleeping on dirt floor with no electricity. This does make you appreciate the United States, I'm sure. There's their football field. Oh, little girl carrying her little sister.
Like, oh, it's fine.
Oh, look at the little baby.
And a soccer field.
Aw, that's a candy store. It's gonna get candy for the kids.
Maybe they'll get water.
Oh, hopefully it's getting water.
I wish these windows were tinted.
So that just was a good video to show that people still ride horses with a handcart to try and get around. So, and you could see by some of the terrain there, like dirt fields, and some of the houses are pretty poor. This was kind of a dangerous area for you, right?
Yes, one of the most dangerous.
One of the most dangerous. And it was really great to go meet one of your favorite families. They became one of my favorite families. That was a store owner that you were talking to, right? So he and his family, they own the store. And you have a picture?
Yep.
Okay. This is, do you want to tell us who they are?
It's the Ureña family, and yep, basically they're members of the church in one of my areas in Concepcion, and well, they're an awesome family. I really love them a lot, but basically they have a really awesome story. The mom, she was a convert of the church, which means that she was baptized in the church. I think she got baptized when she was about 15. And she and one of her sisters were the only ones that got baptized in her family. But basically her parents they kind of didn't really support her going to church, doing kind of things, like godly things. But I guess this lady, she decided to just keep on, even though she didn't have lots of support. And she actually went on a mission as well. She went to Buenos Aires, and that was really awesome. But then when her mom didn't even believe that she was going to be a missionary, and she's like, I don't believe you. And then one day she just left, and didn't come back, and her mom was like, I guess you actually did. So
wow.
Yeah. But she came back, and later she met her husband, and he also got baptized. as well, and they have 2 kids. But really, they're an awesome example of like the help God gives you when you follow Him, when you're obedient to His commandments.
So how have they done? I mean, they live in a dangerous area, very poor, and how have they been blessed?
Well, obviously, they have always been really proactive. Lots of people in Argentina kind of wait on government help and government support and don't really try to work or do things on their own. But this family, kind of in the contrary, Irma, she studied as well, and she's a teacher for like elementary teacher. Now, actually, recently she started working as that. But they also have a little store. Yeah, it's called a kiosco, which is like a small store, and they usually have them in the residential areas, so where they live. They sell just like all the basic things you might need, and they started out really small. Her husband went walking to the store to buy the stuff to sell it again, and then he got a bike and he sold that. He had all his stuff on him, going on his bike, and then he got a motorcycle, and then he got a small car, and now they have a little bit bigger car. And they said basically, little by little, they started growing. They saved. They obviously put God first always, and He always helps them and blesses us as well when we make Him a priority in our lives.
That's awesome. And because they are the only store in their community, then actually people kind of protect them because they provide a resource for everybody in the community. So they're a little more protected and safe, actually, even in a very dangerous community, because they help other people. So that's really great. So we have some more pictures. I know we went to a few places. I was going to show a few of the people that, let's go to the next picture of the family. We went to this home, and they pretty much had just a dirt sort of cement floor, and the cutest little baby, and they were just so friendly and nice. I actually went to the bathroom. If you can go to the next picture, that's a bathroom, and that was a clean bathroom, actually. And there's a little baby tub there that she was washing her baby. That's the tub and the shower, and no curtain, no anything. But these people they all had jobs. The husband worked for the radio station. And explain a little bit about, you don't have to have a lot of things to still be happy, and explain a little bit about what you learned sort of, and how the gospel helps you be happy even if you might be poor.
Yeah, so obviously on my mission I met a lot of people, and the majority of them are pretty poor. Argentina's kind of going through a rough economic situation right now, but generally most people are somewhat more humble, and especially members of the church, you can see this, and this kind of, you might say a contrast between being poor and being happy. And actually, it's not really the same exactly. It's not related. I've seen a lot of people that are pretty poor, people that literally live in their houses. Their walls are made of plastic, and they have dirt floors, and they live basically in the middle of nowhere. And they're some of the happiest people I've met, and they really they understand that happiness really comes from God, from being obedient to His commandments, to following Him and His Son Jesus Christ, and to really putting faith in Him. And there's also rich people I've met that have been also very unhappy, not exactly content with their life situation, and wanted to change. And well, when they did the same thing, when they followed Christ and His commandments, His example, that's really what made them happy in the end. And especially, you can see this, and I was able to see it in many people, going from the beginning, when they didn't know anything about the church or anything about really God. Some people were atheists, and going from from the beginning to meeting them at that point in their lives and seeing how they were happy or how they were economically, spiritually, mentally, physically, and then seeing the change after they a lot of time, not even a lot of time, just once they started making changes in their lives to be more like Christ. That's really what made the difference, and you could see that like plain as day after even a week, after months of living the gospel, of doing the things that God wants us to do, and you can see the happiness in their lives. And it doesn't mean that their economic situation changed that much. Doesn't mean that they were somehow different, exactly like different situation, different lives, or different things. But you could see that they were happy, and that was one of the biggest changes that I could see.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, what you had a lot of missionaries in your mission. Did you see changes in them because of what they went through? Actually, I think we have a picture of your mission, all the missionaries in your mission. That's really cool. So you have girls and boys, mostly boys. But did you notice, like in some of your companions, like what did the mission do to help them? I mean, I know you should have missionaries be good for the mission, but the mission does help you change. Like, what are you going to take back and live differently in your life because of your mission? Or what did you see other missionaries happen in their own lives that they might be a different person because of it?
Yeah, I did see a lot of missionaries that when they started the mission, they were a certain way, and they obviously changed after a lot of time, or after some time, and I could see some missionaries decided to be completely obedient to the rules of the mission, to the commandments of God, and they were happy because of that. That really helped them to do the right things. There were some people that maybe at the beginning of their mission they didn't really understand why they were there, or why they maybe what they were supposed to be doing there, or what their mission was, what they were supposed to accomplish. But little by little, they were able to maybe learn more about that and understand more in depth their purpose as a missionary and how they had the potential to help so many people. And obviously, they made changes as missionaries to be better. And I could see that in quite a few missionaries where they really became different people. Maybe I thought they were a type of person at the beginning, but after a lot of time, I was able to see that God really accepts us as we are. He obviously desires that we can be better and that we can change to be more like Jesus Christ, who is perfect. But He knows that everyone has their time. You know, we're not all on the same step. We could say it like that. Of this progression, but little by little, we can always make these changes, small changes, and be better people.
That's great. Tell me a little bit about what, besides the spiritual aspect of things, like what kind of things do you think you learned that might help you in school, maybe in business later, maybe with getting married? What kind of things you think we'll take with you that will help you now that you're going to be off on your own, going to college, or
First things first, I learned how to do the dishes. So that was good.
You know how to do this.
Oh yeah, but
all by himself. That mom having to tell him.
I learned how to do the dishes when my comp was one. They were like, just have dishes sitting there for a while, and you're like, probably should clean this. So I did learn how to be probably a more clean person in general, clean things, and I realized actually how important it is to have order and cleanliness, and how that really invites kind of the Spirit into wherever you live. So some of the things that I think valuable lessons or skills that I've learned is talking with people. That's kind of some people it's really hard for them to just talk with everyone, to just be kind of an open person, and some people are just closed. And I think that's really something helpful that I was able to learn as a missionary. Just talk with people. Like, it doesn't even really matter what you say, or if you don't know what to say, but you just have to start doing it. And from that point,
in a different language.
That's a little bit harder sometimes, but especially as a new missionary, you don't really know much, but you can still have that desire to just open your mouth and talk with people. And sometimes your comp helps you a lot because he's the one that actually knows how to speak, and you're kind of just there like, hey, I just wanted to talk to you, but I don't actually know how to talk. So,
Yeah.
Also, an important thing is being able to kind of relate with people, to focus on what they like, what their interests are, or maybe what their hobbies are, and just talk about them, help them talk about themselves. Then they really get to have confidence and have a relationship, even if you only know each other for like 10 or 15 minutes. That's something I think I was able to learn how to do pretty well, just to relate with people and to kind of be their friend, even if we only met 30 minutes ago or like almost best friends. And that's something that's I think really helpful for life as well.
Leadership, study skills, anything
Leadership,
like that.
yeah, being diligent with studies. For sure that'd be helpful for college. Sometimes you don't want to study, or you just think you could do something else, less productive usually. And so you just start studying, and that really helps too. And leadership, as a missionary, there's lots of opportunities to be leaders, to help others. There's zone leaders, district leaders, and obviously you have trainers, which train other new missionaries. And those are all positions of leadership, which you kind of learn how to help others. You learn how to be their friend, and then how to support them in their trials and their difficulties.
That's really great. Wow. So those are really great things that you said. I wanted to have you show a few things that. One of the perks of being a missionary is you have people that make things for you.
Yeah.
Who made this for you?
A member. Her name's Graciela.
It's in leather, I guess.
Beltran.
Yeah. Show the front, the back.
This is the front. It's a picture of Jesus holding a lamb. I really like this picture. This is my name on it. And then on the back, it's a temple. This is actually the Houston, Texas temple. And this is Argentina as a country. And this is our mission, the 4 provinces of Jujuy, Salta, Tucumán, y Santiago del Estero. And La Mas is the mission Argentina Salta, the Salta Argentina mission. This is when I started in the mission. And yeah.
Same with this. Sort of the same thing.
This is from my mission president. He gave it to us at the end of the mission. Same thing, La Mas, Misión Argentina Salta. Presidente y hermana Orquera, they were my mission president and his wife. Same thing, map of the mission. This is a scripture that I really like that they gave it to us. These are the logo of the mission. This is my mission plaque. Also has the same thing on it. But yeah, I think one thing that I really like about the missionary plaques is maybe where it says Jesus Christ, Jesucristo. It's kind of like the biggest part, aside from my name, about the plaque, because it's really the most important. Most people maybe don't understand what church we really represent, which is the Church of Jesus Christ. It's not the church of not Elder Baum, and not even another person or another man, but it's really Jesus Christ himself. And that's really, I guess, our mission is to be representatives of Jesus Christ, to help other people do what he would do, and really kind of try to be him for a while. And we're not perfect either, and we're never gonna be able to exactly be Jesus Christ, but we can try, and that's all he asks us to do. He just wants us to be better every day, to be a little bit more like him, and especially as a missionary, you kind of learn a lot about that, what it is kind of Jesus went through in his life, and why that is so important, and why we need to share that with everyone, with all the people in the world.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate the sacrifice that you've done, and you don't get paid to do this. You have to save up your own money to do that, and Madsen worked really hard and has been a great example to our family. And so I hope you've learned something a little bit about the missionaries, what they do in their missions, and why they want to serve. And so,
One other thing is that most people think we're like missionaries for life, but we're really only missionaries for these 2 years, like I said. But after being a missionary for 2 years, we have to go back to our homes. We're not missionaries anymore. That's why I don't have a missionary plaque, because I'm not a missionary all the time. Obviously, I'm still a representative of Jesus Christ in word and deed and everything I do, and I hope to not act any differently because I'm not a missionary anymore. But I guess my main responsibility is not to be a missionary, but we're just kind of normal people. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ. We go to church on Sundays. We do normal things, but we also kind of start our real lives now. We start to study, work.
So what are your plans?
I'll be studying this fall at BYU in Utah.
What are you studying?
I'm studying music for now. And
what do you play?
The bassoon.
Yeah. All right. So you'll be doing this bassoon.
Yeah.
You'll be dating.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then also working and really just being a normal person. That's why it's really kind of a special opportunity to be a missionary, because it's only 2 years, and once you're done, you're done. Like, you can't do another mission, can't go to another country with the same flag. Like, it's a one or done.
Once in a lifetime chance.
Once in a lifetime. You can obviously be a mission president and his wife, or you can also, as a once your kids are gone from the house, you can kind of be missionaries together as a couple, as a senior couple. But it's not really the same, and so it's really a kind of a prized experience to be a missionary, to dedicate 2 years or 18 months of your life, or 2 years or 18 months of your life to God.
So you'd recommend it to someone else?
I would definitely recommend it.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Yep.
Even if you have to pay for it, which you do.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Madsen. I appreciate that. I hope you've learned something from the Barriers and Breakthroughs show and interviewing Madsen Baum and his missionary experiences. And if you're interested, you can always contact the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints if you want to know more about it. And you can always message me on Facebook if you have any questions. We'd love to answer you any questions. So I wanted to say next week we have a great guest that we're going to have on the Barriers and Breakthroughs show, Stephanie Allen. So she has written a book it's called Living with a Purpose, Learn with a Purpose. And her book is out now, published, ready for people to buy. And so we're going to talk to her a little bit about her book next week and her experience when her husband passed away and she had to be a single mom and overcoming her barriers and what breakthroughs helped her. So tune in next week. Stephanie Allen from the Barriers and Breakthroughs show. We will be on at Thursday, 8 p.m. on Facebook Live. If you know anybody that wants to be on the show, make sure to send them our way and tune in, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye. Hi friends, it's Rochelle Pain Baum, the Pain Whisperer. Yes, I am a physical therapist and I love to help people fix their pain. I also love interviewing amazing people on my Barriers and Breakthroughs show. And I wanted to let you know that you can go to YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. It's awesome, where you can hear all of our past guests and their amazing stories, what breakthroughs they've had that helped them overcome amazing, incredible barriers that in their lives. So go to YouTube, subscribe, Barriers and Breakthroughs. If you want to be on our show, let us know. If you know a great person that should be on our show, also let us know. We'd love to hear from you and from them. So go to YouTube, subscribe, Barriers and Breakthroughs, and we'll see you there.